Welcome to CivilNet. I'm Sareen Habeshian. It's election day here in Armenia, and over 100 foreign journalists from 40 different international media outlets have been registered to cover the parliamentary elections. One of them is Al Jazeera. Joining me today is reporter Forestier-Walker from Al Jazeera and a regional correspondent. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit with me today. I know
You're
it's
welcome.
Quite a busy day for you.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting day. It's been something I've been looking forward to because I was here in April and May when the mass street protests were taking place, and it was quite a moving experience to see this huge popular support or feeling of an opportunity for change amongst the Armenian people. And it was a privilege being able to witness that, and then to kind of keep an eye on things and see how the political situation was evolving, and to have made sure that I was back here for the election, which in some ways has been quite dull because not a lot has happened, but that's a good thing. It's good news for you guys, right? For the Armenians anyway. For us, of course, we was looking for a bit of excitement, but I understand that this has been incredibly important in that these elections have gone so far, it seems, smoothly.
In the international context, why do you think it's important to cover Armenia's elections? Does it have an impact outside of Armenia?
I think it very much could do in the future. Armenia and the Caucasus and the South Caucasus are of critical importance when you look at it on the map, based on how these countries are surrounded by large powers like Iran, Turkey and Russia, and the influence that they have on the region. And so I think if Armenia can develop and turn into a more prosperous democratic country, that's also obviously going to affect its relationship with its neighbors, which everybody would hope would be in a more positive way. And so, of course, the challenges that lie ahead, right, for the new government that's expected here is how to resolve those ongoing tensions. And so this is why we're interested in what's happening in Armenia, and why I think it's of critical importance to the international community and the international media, of course. And
what are some similarities and differences you've seen here covering the elections in Armenia versus elections in other countries?
Well, I've just been reporting on Georgia's presidential election, which happened only a few days ago, at the end of November. And it is curious, actually, how different the process seems to have been. In Georgia, the opposition very angry with the way in which the result turned out for them, and a lot of violations were reported. There was a very negative campaign in the run-up to the vote, and I think let's say in Armenia, yes, there has been criticism of the acting administration under Nikol Pashinyan, but it's just from a perspective looking from the outside in. This is a very different scenario to Armenia's neighbor Georgia, which historically and traditionally is recognized as having a more plural democratic system. So for Armenia, to be looking the way it is at the moment, that's very encouraging.
And you've been here for a number of days now. What are your observations generally? What are the angles that you think are important, especially to an international audience?
Yeah, so we were talking about the foreign policy dimension. I think that viewers who are looking at Armenia want to understand this country, where it is and how it fits into things. So I think that the issue with Turkey, let's say, and the closed borders, or how Armenia negotiates its way forward over its relationship with Iran, because of course the US wants to impose sanctions or has reimposed sanctions on Iran. How's that going to affect Armenia's trade and back and forth with the Iranians? And then of course there's Karabakh, which we know as Karabakh, Nagorno-Karabakh, which you guys call Artsakh. What's going to happen there? Does this new political spring in Armenia offer an opportunity for a resolution on the ground there? And I think that this is of critical importance. And of course, Russia's relationship with Armenia, whether Armenia can alter its relationship with Russia and lean more towards a European tilt, or whether it's going to be able to balance its relationship between Europe and Russia. Let's see.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. I know there's a lot of work to get to. Thank you for watching CivilNet. I'm Sareen Habeshian.